Breaking tonight, Attorney General Eric Holder pushing back against critics who say his rhetoric puts police officers in danger. This comes as a critical letter from a former FBI agent goes viral. The decorated U.S. Army and FBI veteran saying he held his tongue about Holder until last month, when the assassination of two New York City police officers compelled him to speak. He writes in part, "To be blunt, Mr. Holder, I am appalled at your lack of leadership as the Attorney General of the United States and your blatant politicizing of the Department of Justice. Your actions, both publicly and privately, have done nothing to quell the complex racial issues we face in our country and have done everything to inflame them. As the top cop of the United States, you share in the blame for much of the violence and protests that we are now witnessing against law enforcement officers honorably serving throughout our nation." Hours ago, at an event recognizing the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr., Attorney General Holder said this.
And I have been troubled and deeply disturbed by recent mischaracterizations of this administration's regard for those who wear the badge. Over the past 6 years, our record of support for law enforcement has been both strong and unambiguous.
J. Christian Adams is a former Justice Department attorney and author of Injustice, Exposing the Racial Agenda of the Obama Justice Department. All right, good to have you with us tonight. This letter, if folks haven't read it, it is scathing. It just, you know, it's something that my dad would say would burn off your eyebrows when you're reading it. I mean, it's that tough. Do you think it's fair? Have you read it?
I have read it, Shannon, and Agent McCown is right, and he's also not alone. What he does in this letter is he details the sordid racial history of this Justice Department, this Attorney General, how this Attorney General, contrary to what he said today, has done more to put police officers in danger than any other Attorney General through his policies, through his priorities, through his rhetoric. He's put officers in danger by opposing what officers try to do. This letter details a lot of the harm that this Attorney General has done, and it's coming from a former FBI agent who worked with the Justice Department on a lot of high-profile civil rights cases.
I want to play a soundbite from the Attorney General back in 2009, one that's become infamous, famous, depending on how you view it. People will know it and recognize it, but it's a comment he made about race in this country. Let's listen.
Though this nation has proudly thought of itself as an ethnic melting pot, in things racial, we have always been, and we, I believe, continue to be, in too many ways, essentially a nation of cowards.
So are we getting it wrong? Is there a better conversation we could be having? Is it fair to say that the Attorney General is adding fuel to the fire?
Yeah, there's so many missed opportunities when you hear that now very sad comment that he made 6 years ago. I mean, we now know what he means. We're a nation of cowards because we don't believe like he does about racial issues. We don't talk like he wants us to about racial issues. Shannon, this whole business about the police departments, this Justice Department has opposed the cops so many ways we don't have time to cover it. They've imposed sensitivity training on police officers to be conducted by radical anti-cop groups, and the taxpayers are paying for it. They want to collect data about police officers, impose federal will on local police departments. The record is not something he can gloss over in one speech at Main Justice this afternoon.
This letter by the former FBI agent as well calls out the Attorney General for being associated with Al Sharpton. They say that he is actually antagonizing and fomenting a lot of the tension that's out there. And the writer questions why this administration would have him in recent, months and years 80 times at the White House.
And Al Sharpton said he was going to help pick the next Attorney General. This is not good company to keep for a person who believes in the rule of law. Today, General Holder talked about people who divide America. Well, if there's anybody who divides America, it's Al Sharpton. This is a guy that should not be within 100 miles of this White House, but he seems to have an open invitation both to the 5th floor at the Justice Department and to the Oval Office.
All right, J. Christian Adams, always good to see you. Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon.